is talk about interactive art and talk about the term interaction in more detail. Lev Manovich, who I think will maybe come here as for a lecture, said in his book The Language of New Media that we will soon, or already maybe, see a language of cultural interface development just as the language of cinema developed 100 years ago. That the term interface is not just the study of the interface between two faces or two layers, but also the representation of these two faces. When we go to the term interaction in social psychology, there is also, of course, a long history of social relationship between humans that are being studied. Apparently, the first use of the term interaction was by German scientist Georg Simmel, used as the term Wechselwirkung, which in a way would be a translation into interaction to characterize an interpersonal relationship. In cybernetics, I think maybe it's also well known, interaction has played an important role, and Norbert Wiener from 1947 coined the term cybernetics as a study of control and communication in animals and machines. On the other hand, in human-computer interaction, I think we have seen since the 60s, of course, a whole host of developments in the study of human-computer interaction. Going back to computer pioneer Ivan Sutherland, who designed the graphical interface, until, of course, nowadays interfaces. What we can see, however, is a strong trend in the direction of disappearing interfaces. Computers that start to leave the desktop metaphor and start to be integrated into different areas of our daily life, such as clothing, walls, intelligent furniture, or any other forms of distributed computing systems. This is, of course, where design starts to be important, as the area of interaction design is relatively new, but people such as Schneiderman and many others are becoming very interested in designing sustainable and meaningful social interaction environments. You will maybe ask yourself, what does this have to do with art? On the other hand, I think talking about interaction in terms of artistic, in artistic terms, can be very interesting and rewarding, especially if we go back and look at how artists were interested in the term of interaction with the audience in the past. In fact, the physically active viewer is not at all a new phenomenon of our times. This experimented with this idea of getting the audience involved in the artworks. On the other hand, when we look at works that used technological means for creating interactive scenarios, then the pioneering works by Schöffer, Seawright, or Ignatowicz in the area of technological art or cybernetic art become important. This was a nice work where a kind of flower-style shape reacts to the environment by picking up the sound and orienting itself towards the sound. There are, of course, many other examples of such kind of cybernetic artworks, and the very well-known exhibition Cybernetic Serendipity by Jascha Reinhardt has brought together the pioneers of this early field of cybernetic art. Interactive art itself started to be used widely, or started to become a widely used term in the 1990s, when at the Prix Ars Electronica in Austria it was established as an honor category. Some people say it was Myron Kruger who coined the term interactive art, because he already in the 60s started to use computers to create some kind of responsive environment. I think we have seen now in the past 10-20 years a very big host of artworks that are also in the category of interactive artwork, establishing themselves as a special category. And most recently, Edward Shanken wrote a very good book on this idea of art and electronic media. We have been coming to Linz in 2004 and started to create a department, a master study department on interface cultures. That was based, the term is based on a book by Stephen Johnson, who talks also about how technology transformed the way we communicate and create. There is, for example, a strong interest recently into tangible interfaces. And if you think about the iPhone, it's a very good example of such tangible interface. Ourselves in 1992, we created, you could call it in a way a tangible interface, as people were able to touch real plants and then create artificial plants on the screen through the touch data that they generated. This was at that time pretty unique, as nobody really thought about using a living being or a living sort of entity as an interface to the computer. You see now here just a very short sequence of how we created the environment so that people, when they walked towards these relatively unsuspicious looking plants in the space and started to touch them, they could see the result of growing algorithms on the screen. So the idea here was to experiment with creating a new kind of metaphor of what an interface is in order to extend this idea of human-computer interaction. Another tangible interface was used in a work that was more based on artificial algorithms, artificial life algorithms, a system called ABOL. Here the idea was that people create on a touchpad some shapes, they just draw shapes, and these shapes become alive and start to swim in the water of this artificial pool. Then people can play with these creatures by stopping them if they put their hand on the creatures, or they can activate them by trying to push them towards each other. Again, like in the earlier installation, there would be nothing really happening at all if people wouldn't really actively get involved in the work and start to create the shapes by themselves. There is also, especially in this case, quite a sophisticated programming behind in terms of having computer algorithms decide or influence the way these creatures would behave. For example, if two of these shapes would come together and they have enough energy, they could create children, while if one of the shapes doesn't have enough energy, it would become very aggressive and try to kill one of the other shapes. I hope I have been able to show you different aspects of interface design, and I think what we can somehow extract is some possible future product lines or applications or maybe artworks that show how viable and how maybe also that I would even say that we already see the Lechmanovich prediction that language of culture and interface is developing. I think that this is actually happening right now. And maybe a more difficult question, and I'm sure it would take a long time to go into details, but as I stated earlier, Weibel said that these days everyone has the tool to become an artist by using this kind of digital technologies and shareware and do-it-yourself type of instruments. However, I strongly believe that artistic concepts should be, in the future, be put more in the foreground, and a link to art history and early art movements will remain to be critical.